Okay. A very good afternoon from Sunyato to the viewers, and especially to my good friend and brother-in-law, Dr. Alok Bajpai, who is well known to Sunyato and is well known around the world for his psychiatric research and well known new discoveries that he keeps on putting out to this world and keeps us all entertained as well as informed. So, a very hearty welcome to you, Dr. Alok Bajpai. Welcome,
Thank
Alok.
you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, we have finally got together for this podcast on Sunyato, and we need to uh, discuss what's going on in the current world of technology, especially related to the cyberspace. Now, as you have done a lot of talks on cyber security and the human mind related to psychiatry and psychology of human beings. Uh, you are the right person that we wish to uh, impose upon to talk about the current topic. The topic that we have discussed and chosen is Dr. Mary Aikin. Now, Dr. Mary Aikin is a cyber psychiatrist, and her name and fame uh, is basically related to the human mind, and she reminds us of fading affect bias. So which is where negative emotions associated with unpleasant memories fade much faster than positive experiences. And this is why she says gamblers are always so quick to talk about how much they have won over the years, with no mention or memory of what they have lost. Now, of course, I will include Dr. Mary Aiken's uh, photo, and we have asked for her permission, but obviously she is too busy to respond. So obviously we can go ahead. She is not uh, denied us. So, so in fact, what we need to talk about is the internet is so great, but uh, is it really all that it stands out to be? Is it really a hit? And Dr. Mary Aiken, I've quoted already. So, as per her uh, quote, the internet is a giant slot machine, and all the average and boring material that we scroll past is negated by that one incredible piece of news, that high feeling when you find a belly aching funny video making the search worthwhile. Now, so as I understand what she's saying, for a moment of pleasure, we go through so much boredom and unnecessary waste of time. If I could be permitted to use the word waste of time, it's my opinion, of course. So,
Hmm.
your take on Dr. Mary Aiken and her, uh,
Yeah.
let's say, thoughts so far.
Right. So, anyway, sir, whenever you feel like you can interject and ask a question or
Sure, sure.
your opinion. All right. I'll connect all these things together.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to summarize what Dr. Mary Aiken is saying,
Mm.
she is putting into a very, very comprehensive analysis of what we all know in tidbits. That
Mm-hmm.
whether internet is good or internet is bad, the debate is still on.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll find people on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially the Gen Z will say, no, no, their life is the internet, and some of us who are older will
Mm-hmm.
find that conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Second is regarding this negative emotion. It actually, if you look at the whole thing, I will elaborate on that.
Sure.
It
Right.
uh, it is both ways actually.
Mm-hmm.
It is both ways, and I'll tell you how. Because there's something more deeper which is happening. Suppose you see what is happening in a country like India,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where people are more connected on a daily basis to each other than, say, in US or other countries, where there is a
Mm-hmm.
more individualistic lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, she has also told that because we check our phones and our screens 200 times in a day, how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then internet becomes a slot machine where things keep going in and all.
Yeah.
And our good suggestions also are very important when people talk to young generation about internet addiction or how
Mm-hmm.
to get out of this. Because internet addiction has become a digital addiction has become a entity in itself.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there are specific clinics which are being held.
Right.
So, so I think people should read it, read a book, and to understand.
Mm-hmm.
But also want to take it a bit deeper because most people wouldn't have read the book. So
Yes.
talking about book without people reading it is not a very uh, good
Yeah.
thing. But I will just try to sum it up in a different language.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Yeah. Fine. You must have seen
Read
uh,
it.
the disappointment or guilt on my face because I haven't really read the book.
Don't
I've
worry.
only
So
gone through its cover
she,
and some of
she
the
has brought
basic
in,
things that she
yeah,
says. Mm.
she has brought in terms like cyberchondriac, like
Mm-hmm.
cyber. Now, so
Cyberchondriac,
what is
and what was the next one you said?
cyber self?
Oh, okay, cyber self, cyber addict,
The
one could say for me.
the cyberchondriac, like we have hypochondriac people who keep worrying about uh, the illness and keep
Right.
visiting doctors.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who keep checking their illness also.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is happening?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is happening is that if you just take a step back, say 24 years back,
Mm-hmm.
I remember 1995 when I had sent a paper to a conference
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get a US visa, but the paper, somebody informed me from US that
Mm-hmm.
my paper is World Wide Web. This was 95.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I was a student and I wanted to check my name on World Wide Web. It's a new thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to connect to the internet. In 7 hours, we could not connect. That was the speed. Sitting in an IC center. And then by 97, 98, the internet had become a household thing, although the
Mm-hmm.
speeds were small. And now everything is at the tape and the whole war for speed is still
Mm-hmm.
on.
Right, right.
One. So obviously, what was a voluntary activity
Mm-hmm.
where you would say, open your desktop or laptop. There were less laptops, there were more desktops at that time.
That's right.
Pentium 486 and all that type
That's
of
right,
machines.
right.
You remember, all people would have forgotten all that, no? And floppy and all that. At that age, you would sit, connect, and whatever speed internet was running, you send an email here, there, and all that. But it was still a voluntary activity
Mm.
that you had to sit and log in.
Correct.
You were free to do other things.
Mm.
And then came the mobile.
Yes.
Then came the smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
And then came the fast 4Gs and 5Gs with
Right.
all telecom companies giving. So you are already connected 24 into 7.
Correct.
First technical psychological issue is this. And
Mm.
if Mr. Musk gets his way,
Mm.
the Neuralink chip which he is put in the heads
Yes.
right now to collect EEG signals would also be connected as an input device. So your mind, if people put that chip,
Mm.
your mind continuously connected to internet.
So even if you're sleeping, they can
Yes.
actually wake you up or blow your mind.
Yes. If you have a chip, and then there is the Internet of Things,
Yeah, Internet of
like
Things.
all your
Yeah,
devices.
yeah. I worked on
It's
that
not
a
only
bit.
not only to cyber. All your devices are connected.
Yes.
Your electricity switch, your microwave, your car, your AC, and you
Yeah,
do it from Alexa and with the Google Mini and all that stuff.
yeah,
So this connectivity has increased.
yeah.
But so there is a, if you go back to the basic human mind, there are only two things. One is a fear of death,
Mm-hmm.
which is very, very deeply ingrained in all human beings, and fear of being left alone,
Ah,
which, yes, that is one basic fear. And so
right.
all human activities are for other humans only.
Yes. Well, that
That's
that
how we compromise.
could I interrupt here? I thought
Yes,
people are selfish, but in fact you are right because selfish in order to show off or sort of uh, patted upon or be somehow liked by others. So in that
yes.
sense, a human being is selfish. Is that what you're saying?
I think if you have to really put in what frame human beings work, so
Mm,
there is a selfishness to survive.
mm,
One,
mm.
to gain immortality, people reproduce. All sexuality, selfishness comes there. But right in the antithesis, what has evolved is
Mm.
also parental investment
Ah,
and altruism.
right,
That altruism is initially for your kith and kin.
right, right.
So that your survival is not only dependent on you, it's also dependent on your close ones.
Mm, mm,
And circle of altruism increases.
mm,
It can go to reciprocal altruism to friends where you are also getting something back and you're giving. And
mm,
then if you want to expand, you can expand it like Mahatma Gandhi and Jesus Christ and Prophet to
mhm,
the
mm.
whole world. It all
Yes.
depends on how far you want to go. So we move between these four things.
Fair enough.
Yes, reproduction, survival, parental investment. So ideally, it should appear as very, very positive thing,
Mm,
connectivity.
right.
So I would say it is a positive thing that connectivity has increased, but it also has a equally uh, in, equally
Complicated
potent.
thing.
Yeah, no, it has equally potent intrusiveness also.
Ah, okay, okay.
So very difficult to say
Mm,
whether people are really connecting to each other
mm,
or it is just this semblance of being connected all the time,
mm,
because that leads to
mhm.
the second part of it when you're
Right.
saying boredom or the spike of entertainment.
Mm,
Because see, mind has a very simple thing. Mind gets a surge of dopamine and excitement by
mhm.
exploring new things.
Right.
That monkeys do it, chimpanzees do it, we also do it. When people did not have internet, they were exploring mountains and
Right.
monuments and oceans, and they will keep doing it. We
Mm.
explore in relationships.
Or writing
Kids
books.
explore, yeah, anything. Kids will explore mother's limits. So
Right.
that dopamine, dopamine. But once you explore something, the mind gets bored very easily.
Aha.
In some things, but if you do something and you get a reward, your
Mm.
mind feels pleasure, you'll do it again and again.
Sure, sure. Mm,
So I can call it easily, mind is appetitive.
mm,
It wants to quench its appetite all the time,
mm.
and it's repetitive also.
Right, right.
So between these two games, so when you are doing something, when you are getting things at your fingertips,
Mm,
then this brain is seeking more and more exploration. And naturally, it gets bored also.
mm,
It has to, because how far can you? But you see, people don't seem to get bored
mm.
if you look at it.
Right.
If you look at it, they can go on seeing reels after reels after reels. That is the repetitiveness of the brain.
Mm, mm.
Because brain has found some stimulation in these reels or news or Facebook or uh, whatever else.
Mm.
If the see people are sitting on the airport
Mm.
or in a restaurant, suppose they are not connected to internet for
Mm.
some reason, they'll be still flipping and watching pictures. Something you see it in the flight, huh?
Right, right.
I mean, I often wonder how much information these people need. Because
Mm.
few years back did not need that information. So what
True.
is happening is what is coming, the content of internet is all content is not meant for everybody. That
Mm-hmm.
we should be clear.
Mm.
But because of sheer information overload,
Mm-hmm.
people are not able to decide what is required for them.
Ah. Uh-huh.
And that is leading to huge anxiety of survival.
I see. Wonderful.
I
Some
will
of
give
it
you an
like that.
example.
Yeah, please.
What we are seeing in India, a lot of kids go abroad to study.
Mm.
And they were going out even in your time.
Yes.
Previously, when the kid used to go, they would write a letter once in a while, as children do. Parents would be living with anxiety and lump in the throat all the time, worried about them. And once in a while, you will book a trunk call, or when the phone was available, ISD call, and not everybody had it.
Sure.
So you will know that whenever the kid comes or whenever there is a letter, now people feel very happy. Okay, wherever I send the kid, I am in connection all the
Mm.
time.
Mm.
But you see the type of information which is percolating. Taking a flight from one place to another, suppose in US or Australia or wherever,
Mm.
parents will monitor from here
Mm.
and keep informing whether a flight is reached or not reached or pਹੁੰਚੀ, nahi pਹੁੰਚੀ, and where are you, if you got a taxi or not, and we'll keep asking whether you have reached or not. Apparently, it looks very nice. It appears as a concern.
Mm.
But see the amount of data set it is increasing.
Mm. 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 Correct.
We are creating anxiety for ourselves
Mm.
and we are creating anxiety in the kid also.
Yes, of course.
There is a sort of dependence which happens that every time the kid has to inform the parents. And I mean, this is becoming a problem.
Yes.
Now,
If I
what?
could come in here, yes,
Yes,
it's a dual problem. One is that parents are always asking for more information, thus creating uh, complex problems of their own, technology, information overload, and all that. And
yes,
on the other hand, the kid goes through two things. One is, yes, good. I'm informing, or I'm being informed of about my informing about myself, and I'm getting informed about my parents. But the other is probably, I would say, for a Gen Z person, oh, my privacy is being always harped upon,
yes.
and that could become a problem, and like an atom bomb explode. Yeah, why should I be showing, even when I'm on a toilet, just to take the extreme example,
Right,
that I'm actually in the toilet or whatever it is. So
right.
there are two things that, and I mean, it could do the other reverse things also for the parents, that if for, let's say, half an hour, the child, the son or daughter has not communicated back, they start getting anxieties.
Oh,
Oh, what's happened to them and all that. Now that's
so
that's a complex problem.
I, so if you, and I'll tell you something else. And let me bring another example.
Hmm.
What Dr. Mary Aikin says, she is from her angle, it's, yes, it is fine that negative emotions people forget and gamble, like example of gamblers. But this is not totally true. I'll tell you
I
the
see.
reverse.
Hmm.
Because suppose two people have conflict,
Hmm.
we always have,
Yes.
right? Keep having it with my patients, and I keep young people who have lot of concepts they have developed
Mm-hmm.
and words like trauma, toxicity, validity, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Without understanding the depth of it, they gather this word from a lot of places
Mm.
and then try to. So what happens is when people are thinking in these conceptual terms which have been passed to them by internet,
Mhm.
everybody knows these things without going into the depth of it.
Right, right.
So then you try to fit your own life into all this.
Mm. Mhm, mhm.
See, everything is a memory. Human beings live in memory, sir.
Mhm. Correct,
And
correct.
here now requires a Gandhi or a Buddha.
Yes.
Either we live in the fear of future, which is
Mm,
creating anxiety, like
mm,
in the case of kids we are talking,
mm,
or when people have negative emotions, and
mm,
if you are not communicating over time, you will forgive and forget and move on.
mm.
But because of this internet business, you are immediately able to communicate it to not only one person, to everybody who is connected.
Mm,
So the whole memory of that unpleasantness blows up.
mm.
That itself becomes a repetitive compulsion for a lot of people.
Oh boy. Mm. Very mute point. Very, 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 you know.
People will say, no, you have done this and you have done this and you have done this. Okay, you say, okay, fine, over. 6 months later, if something else happens, their mind will again get triggered on that.
Mm,
That
mhm,
becomes, I am seeing a lot of people moving in society
mm,
who are harboring more hatred,
mm,
more negative memories,
mm,
and they are on and on to it, which is spoiling their own lives.
mm,
So trust me, society right
mm,
now you can link it. People are more anxious. They are
mhm.
not allowing things to let go,
Yes.
right? And all those memories are being rekindled every time when
Mm,
something happens
mhm,
because you have a chance to poke it again and again and bring
mm.
it out in the open or your mind,
Correct.
and that triggers the basic fear and insecurity,
Mm.
which in most cases turns into hatred.
Right. That's very
In
sad.
general, people are more hateful these days
Mm.
than it was, say, 20, 30, 40 years back.
Correct. Correct. So, are
And
you saying that the hatred or this repetitive memory regurgitation is actually giving some sort of a pleasure to that person?
I wouldn't say pleasure, it is giving some immediate relief from anxiety.
I see.
If I have anxiety,
Mm,
see what do human beings do normally?
mm,
Normally, if we have a problem or if
mm.
we have a guilt or something,
Mhm.
first reaction is never to blame ourselves.
Ah, yes, yes. You hit
Always
upon that one earlier also. Yes.
God to politicians to anything.
Community, other community, my enemy or whatever.
Somebody else has done it. Here, that you don't need somebody else. There's always a mobile. There's always a person on whom you can pass on your buck
Or
without ever
hatred.
thinking what are you
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Correct.
That is causing a lot of. So for people to sit alone
Mm,
without any information input in their head
mm,
and to really work on their inner anxieties or inner thought process
mm,
becoming an impossibility.
mm.
And it's not only the youth we should blame, it is
That's
with
right.
everybody.
Correct, correct.
Everybody, whatever age they are professors, they are. I mean, this whole habit of touching the mobile and
Mm.
checking messages has become compulsion.
That's right.
Now, it is such a large population,
Mm,
and what is the flip side? The flip side is that who decides what are you going to think?
mm,
That means most and most people who are not sitting back and avoiding this end up thinking what they are being made to think.
mm.
Who is deciding the content? Somebody
Right.
sitting in all these centers. Huh?
Right.
It is not only okay. Like for example, news.
Yes.
News is available all the time. What is so much news in the world?
Mm.
24 hours you have to get a news.
Mhm.
But everything becomes a news,
Mm.
right? So somebody who sees a news page on the internet,
Mhm.
will see that somebody did a cliff jumping, somebody burned somebody, we found a dinosaur foot somewhere with and SpaceX going there. Everything, it doesn't concern everybody.
Correct.
Seeing the effect of it these days, I'm sure you must be seeing it. If you
Mm.
talk to people,
Mhm.
everybody knows everything. So what are experts about? Nobody. Everybody is an expert. And the biggest field you are seeing this is what Dr. Mary Aikin very correctly says
Mm.
is in the health field.
Mm.
People come to us and they will tell us we don't want medicine. So I said, okay, go. You have to take medicine. But all this will come, no, internet says this and Google says this. And they will go from meditation to yoga to all these spiritual gurus and God knows unscientific, unproven ways.
Yeah. Healthy
God
living.
living, vegan diet, all the fads which are rotating in the thing,
Yeah.
and but they are not ready to accept because Google has said something. I joke to one of the patients
Mm.
that if you are here to take gyan
Mm.
knowledge,
Mm.
then pay me much. If you want to give gyan, pay the double amount. I'll take the gyan from you.
Well said. Wonderful.
Huh?
Wonderful.
Take money. So that has created what she very correctly says that is cyber chondriacs.
Mm.
Chondriacs are, and people will check. I tell them that okay, you don't check because the more you check, your illness will become more and more. No, no,
Mm.
no. They will go on and on.
Mm.
And second is there was this philosopher called Hannah Arendt. She very clearly said the lies are spoken
Mm.
not so that people believe in it.
Mm.
They are spoken to confuse people so that nobody knows what is real.
Exactly.
So as it is our brain, the way it functions, we have talked about it, is continuously creating a maya. It's like illusions of reality,
Right.
which
Right.
we assume. So nobody knows what is real. We don't know the quantum wave. We don't know a lot of stuff there. Our brain also, because we have been conditioned and trained over years,
Mm.
that is why we bank on our memory, and that is our self.
Mm.
Our self is nothing more than our memory
Correct.
and
Correct.
pattern in the brain. So, and you can't bank on memory because every second memory is getting altered.
Yes.
Even while
Yes.
we are talking,
Yes.
our memory of each other is getting altered. And after
Right.
some time on that is unreal.
Very true.
So, in a already biologically deceived world, we are creating layers and layers of unreality now.
Wonderful. Mm.
Virtual reality, this reality. So, what is your real self?
Mm.
Who are these people who are writing on Facebook?
Mm.
Facebook is a very good example. You see what people write and
Mm.
what do they promote. What is the need to keep promoting that I'm on this airport and I'm on here, I'm on there, and person would be sitting next and people will be typing happy birthday. Why do you want to put it there?
Mm.
But that become a compulsive need for people
Mm.
to project a self in which they don't live.
Mm.
So their reality itself is divided into many things.
Mm.
So when you have to face things in flesh and blood, then a lot of contradictions happen in the brain.
Mm.
So on one hand, all this is very useful. You can book your tickets, you can get knowledge at the tips, you can get books also. But as you are saying, people have been made into see how it is happening. They made people addicted to using internet for booking tickets,
Mm.
for downloading free PDF, for using Wikipedia. Now everything is being charged.
Mm.
Right?
correct,
Post-COVID, even the books have become costlier.
correct, correct.
Amazon books have become very costly.
Very true.
Now, plus, this whole interconnectedness appears as if it is a web in which you are caught. There is no way you can escape.
Mm.
So, on logistical platform,
Mm.
it is a good thing that your things can be easily done. But at a personal and a collective level, it is very bad because my fear is if this continues at the rate it is, in 10 years, human beings who are already competing with AI,
Mm.
we would have lost capacity for any deep thinking.
Yes, that's the danger.
So for people to sit down and watch a cinema of 3 hours is gone. Nobody does it. To read a thick book, nobody does it. Nobody even listens to longer videos.
Correct.
I recently gave a talk on Krishna and I keep giving on Krishna and Gandhi and all that. So somebody said, "Sir, let us record it. Can we put it in clips?" I said, "Why do you want to put in clips?" So then that is what people show. Instagram. I said, if you break my chain of thought and put it into two clips, one clip you release now, so it is gone. There's no point doing it. You
Mm.
understand, sir?
Right, right.
That where attention span has really shortened.
Mm.
Like you said, slot machine, right? So we are looking for some cheap thrills,
Right.
and I don't know where is it all going to lead. But what is certainly going to lead is the amount of anxiety in which people live. There is a huge anxiety. I
Mm.
don't remember 20 years back
Mm.
that we were living, we were just flowing with tide, whatever
That's
happens,
right.
happens. And I don't know, especially in a country like India,
Mm.
this anxiety is not good because the population is so much, and then see, there is a problem when people move in anxiety,
Mm.
they don't become kind. They're more prone to violence and more. My worry is violence actually.
Mm. That's what I was also thinking about. Yes.
In coming times, when AI will rule and there'll be less jobs and this and that, who will ensure equal distribution of food or something? We are actually, you know what? We are landing him in a situation in which Karl Marx would have written his capital in a digital.
Yes. So another revolution is required.
Maybe we'll get a Gandhi or Marx or somebody. But because no, but it will happen. There'll be a time. See, you see, with all this chat GPT and all,
Yes.
I mean, people don't even apply their brain or fingers to write a letter.
We have 1 minute
How
left. Yeah.
yeah. So how do people do it? So if you get more and more used to all this,
Mm.
then obviously your brain will survive the way it has to. It has to make you survive.
That's
But
right.
we'll be more numb or whatever.
Mm. Mm.
So imagine people who will be all robots talking the same thing.
Yes. To summarize, and there is I mean, there are two thoughts coming into my mind. One is that we hope that there is a solution via some sort of a person and a technology combination that allows us to be, let me use the word, more moral and ethical, and correctly so. And the other scary thought is that um, everything becomes uh, AI, and human being becomes lazy and therefore very much self-centered and violent, and not very sympathetic about the people and things around one. But I believe through technology, good use of technology, as thanks to you, we are doing, and we're pondering about the situation. If we can I believe we should be able to put out a message saying that morality needs to be followed in order to build a productive and peaceful society. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.